We are live. I am Dr. Cassandra Bradford, and you are watching Business First with me, Dr. Cass. And I have a special guest today, Mr. Adrian Howard. And I want to introduce him to you guys. You guys know that my podcast is all about business, dropping nuggets, anything it'll take to get you to move your business forward. Whether we're in a pandemic or whether or not we're in a carnival, it is time for us to move our business forward. So, hey, Adrian, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
So, how have you been, man? I follow you on social media. I met you a few years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
But I follow you on social media. I am loving what you're doing. So, tell everybody who you are and what you're doing now.
Well, I'm Adrian Howard, State Farm agent. Irving, Texas is my base, but I serve all of the state of Texas. I've been around here for 20 years, working in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, really just trying to find a way to help people do what you do, become an entrepreneur, and, help them in their own personal lives.
So Adrian is being modest, y'all. We don't have time for modesty today. This is a 30-minute show. We got to jump in and hit it while it's hot. So Adrian, I know what you do, and you told everybody that you are with State Farm, right?
Yeah.
And so now, Adrian, I want you to speak to our audience about what is needed right now, especially for their business during this pandemic.
Well, I mean, for businesses, you start with the liability insurances because something goes down right now. Money's tight for a lot of people. Something happens, you want to make sure you have a company that is going to be able to provide you with benefits to cover you during these times. We're being hit with a lot of phone calls from people that are calling right now. There were some things in the policies that was able to help people during the pandemic time frame. So that's one of the major things right now that people need to be able to do is have something in place that if something happened to them, they will be protected. Another big thing that we're getting called about is life insurance plans because this COVID is new to all of us. I mean, we didn't expect this to happen. We actually shut my office down for about 2 months. We're still closed to the public, but we do appointments type deal. But, our regular customers cannot come to the office just in the best interest of everybody. But we are doing a lot of phone consultations, a lot of Zoom calling and activity. So we're still meeting the needs of the customers right now, but in a different way.
Now you're with State Farm. So yeah. I'm going to tell you guys, I have been in insurance for 32 years. I'm not an agent. I was in litigation. I did fraud investigation. Still licensed in most states. Grandfather. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a big proponent of insurance. I'm a big proponent in being able to get in touch with my insurance agent. I don't want to go through a bot. I don't want to chat online. I am talking about ensuring that that's special or important in my life. My car, me, I'm important. My children, right? My spouse, my family, my business. I don't have time to talk to robots or chat with somebody about general questions when my life is not general. So Adrian, I know you have that great customer service element.
So yeah, we do. We do, Cassandra.
It's important that people should know who their agents are and how they can get in touch with them. And if not, y'all need to probably change.
Yeah, well, I think that's very important. If you go to my Google page, look at my Google reviews, I got about 130, 140 Google reviews with a 4.6 rating. So that says a lot about what we do and how we do it. We have a good group of people that I work with, and they are very, very responsive. So if you call the office and have to leave a message, within 30 minutes, we'll call you back to make sure that we're serving the needs of all of our customers, So, because, it's a lot of stuff hitting the market right now. Everybody's just looking for the cheapness. I made a contact with a realtor yesterday, a friend of mine that, we had talked to early in the year and just wanted to congratulate her on a great year. And she said, well, I'm glad you called me. She said, I need to talk to you. My insurance company is moving out of the state of Texas. So that happens a lot because a lot of times people, and we all want to save money, right? But at the same time, we want quality. I don't think you can have both. I think you can save some money from certain situations, but I don't think you can save it the cheapest program and the best program at the same time. You just can't have both. Now, I'm not saying we priced out of the league or anything of that nature. It's a competitive market, and we put competitive products on the street. You know, our biggest thing is we want to make sure that it's a family environment more so than a, you know, let's take your money, you never hear from us. We have a great follow-up system when it comes to claims. I have a person that's managing that. So whenever a claim is filed, she actually makes the call to make sure everything is okay. If there's a fire, some major loss, she'll contact me and I'll get involved in that process. So those are some of the things that are different from my agency than someone online.
So now, you service all forms of insurance.
All forms of insurance, yes, ma'am.
Now, you know, most of my people that follow me are in business, and
Okay.
I always say something in my workshops about how we need to have insurance. We need to have that safety net in case something happens. And normally, this is a time that people cancel insurance, and then something happens, right? And I believe right now that people need to make sure you're looking at the policy, even Mama's policy, right? To make sure that, you know, Mama is more susceptible to this virus.
Yeah.
Or if someone in your family has diabetes or something like that, they're more susceptible. So you want to make sure that you're able to get in contact with your agent to take a look maybe at their life insurance policy. Isn't that right?
That is correct. One of the things that I did during the pandemic, and it paid big dividends, I just called to check on folks during that time, you know, to see who could pay. We had a program that we could modify some things during that time frame, and it helped a lot. But I just made, you know, hey, Cassandra, how you doing? Just want to check on you, see if everything's going well. From that, a lot of things came from that because people said to me, no one has ever done this, you know. And we was able to go through some policies and review some information and make some changes in some cases because they didn't have a proper coverage, even in my office. Because people call, they tell you what you want, you try to go through the information with them, and they forget sometimes to call you, or you forget to call them down the road once things are in place. But going through that exercise, it helped all of us. And with the life insurance programs and at the rate things are going right now, that's huge. Some of the companies, including ours, had some modifications and things that we did during that time to protect, you know, clients at the same time. You know, people weren't driving as much, so you probably saw that on the news where everybody, you know, received a benefit from those type of programs. But yeah, what you mentioned about having to sit down with your agent and really just having a one-on-one relationship with that person is the key. People know you, you know, have a tendency to work, I think, a little bit better than if they don't know you. You know, they'll pull up a number, your name, but if they don't have that relationship with you, they'll do what they need to do, but it extends a little bit farther if they know you.
Well, you guys know I believe in the power of relational currency, right? If you don't know the value of your network, get out. Your network should be very powerful. You should know the value. If someone is not in your network, you should know if there's a deficit. So just like Adrian said, you need to make sure that you have an agent that is called to check up on you. Has your agent called you to check up on you? I need to make my agent. Yeah, he did, because I did a change on my policy. I got a new car, so I had to make a change. So he had to talk to me. Hey, what is this? You got a new car? I'm like, hey, mind your business. Yeah. But if your agent is not calling you or has not called to check up on you, you may want to consider giving Adrian a call, because that is very important. I think our relationships are important because, you know, what you're doing, Adrian, is you're sowing a seed.
Yeah.
Right? Even they may be lowering premiums or adding on or whatever they're doing, you're sowing seed. And they go, you know what? Maybe after the pandemic, you know, that Adrian called me. And if anybody's looking for an insurance guy, this guy called and checked on me. What you did was you sowed seed. Right. And I believe that in due season, you're going to reap a harvest. I really do.
Yeah, it'll come through. I'm working on a case right now. Guy's buying a car wash here in the Metroplex. And, you know, he has our price, and he got another comparative price. And we're talking through that. But he likes our numbers because it has a lot more detail. Because I don't really want to insure you if I'm not going to be able to cover you when that time is necessary. So, you know, some people will.
But you know, Adrian, you have a lot of people that will insure a telephone, but will not insure their lives.
I agree.
So
I agree.
that tells me that your phone is more valuable than you are.
That's right.
I mean, you think about it. Everybody that I talk to, just about anybody that's watching this podcast, yeah, you can raise your hand if you want to. You have insurance on your cell phone, but you don't have insurance on your own life. And that
That's
gives
right.
me pause. And all you got to do is just call Adrian and find out, what does that look like? What does that sound like? And how much does that cost? Those are just questions. You're having a conversation and
Yeah, and
prepare yourself.
Cassandra, there's no obligation to purchase anything. We just want to educate you on what you may need, maybe not, and what you have may be perfect. And that's what I think that we have to get better at as business owners, as consumers. Just let me check around. Let me just see, and what kind of experience do I have by doing a check. You know.
And I'm gonna tell you something too, Adrian, and I'm gonna get off life insurance for a while because you guys know how I feel about that. I have a huge trucking followers. We do authorities out of my office. We get them certified, find them contracts, right? Certified minority owned or disadvantaged business woman. And so a lot of my truckers, you guys have to have a lot of insurance, commercial insurance. I know with Amazon, you guys that are carrying freight for Amazon, you have to have $1 million in combined single limits. You also have to have cargo insurance. So who are you guys calling for that? I mean, even to get your own authority, you own operators. Have you even just had a conversation with Adrian to even see if you're paying the right amount in what you're in for your owner operator, for your MC number? Right, to have your own authority, and for the company that you're hauling for, right? Because I know Amazon wants $1 million in combined single limits. And so all of you guys that have these Amazon routes, does it even make sense? Are you even making the profit that you want to make? You could be paying too much in insurance, but instead of even calling someone like Adrian, like he said, there's no obligation. You're just having a conversation. He's educating you on what you have, right?
Mhm. Well, the objective with the insurance plan, no one wants to pay for it, not including myself. But we have to, you know. And, I have a ton of insurance on myself because I've seen the benefit of the policies. I've seen people have to use them. My wife, she, back in 2018, she had an accident with her hip. We had a proper policy in place, and it provided the benefits. So when you talk to small business owners, you're talking about income replacement plans, disability plans, life insurance plans. You're
Living
talking
benefit.
about all of those things. Yeah, because say if a person gets in some kind of serious situation where they're unable to work as a small business owner, that's the income. So you need something in place to protect that income in the event that happens. And a lot of times, one, they're not exposed to it because most time agents don't visit with them about it. Most of the time we drive auto and home, and then small business occasionally, but we don't dig deep in the woods to give them what they actually need to protect them, their family, and their futures.
Now, Adrian, now tell me, who would be an ideal client for you?
Well, small business owner that, you know, it's really just a small business owner that is looking to, provide personal protection on their business, that's open to cover the needs of the assets, cover the needs of premature death. So, each plan is different in its own unique way, because, a trucker may need this, a janitor may need this. When I say a janitor, but a person that owns a janitorial service may need this. Insurance agents may need something different. A consulting firm may need something different. That depends on where you work and the liabilities. But just a small business person that's looking to try to cover all the needs of their business.
And I'm gonna tell you something, you business owners, you're renting these office spaces, right? You guys need to make sure you have renter's insurance.
That's right.
I mean, normally, and I'll be honest, I dealt with the claim side of business back long time ago, you guys, because I've been in business for 20 years. But you look at, a lot of people are moving into apartment complexes. you know, whether it's because you lost your job or whatever the reason, you're living in an apartment. And I'm gonna tell you, most people with these Christmas trees that are catching on fire, that you'll hear every year about a Christmas tree that has caught fire, burnt down an apartment complex. Well, that apartment complex said in their lease agreement, you have to have renter's insurance, but you didn't get it. So now everything that you own, all your little prized possessions that were in there, your little favorite blankie, right? All those things that you cherish, mama's old recipes, all of this stuff gets burnt up. Now what happens? So, Adrian, tell me about the importance of, I mean, renter's insurance is not even that expensive.
That's what I was going to say to you. You're talking anywhere ranging from $10 to $20 a month. $10 to $20 a month. You get up to $300,000. We start with $100,000. You can go all the way up to $1 million plus for liability. So if somebody comes in, say you're having a Christmas party, somebody comes in, it's not your immediate household, and they get injured in your home, they're going to sue you. You can say, that's my family, they're going to sue you. So how do you pay for them? How do you pay for that? You know, so you have to figure out how you're going to cover that in the event something happens to you. And then, as you said about their contents and their personal belongings. If a fire comes through, sweeps through that apartment complex, takes out 100 units, yours is one of those units, where do you go? How do you do that? If you have that renter's insurance, there's monies in place to be able to help support you in that case. I'm going to take it one step further. That's renter's insurance, but we talked about the small business owners. If you have a location, if you're working out of a location and you're receiving clients into that location, say somebody comes in, slips and falls in that location and they're injured, they're going to sue you. And when they sue you, if you have that proper insurance in place, that company, us, will be able to protect you against that lawsuit. But if you don't have that in place, now you're scrambling, which could take your whole business out.
So this, I mean, and guys, renter's insurance is not that expensive. You need to have someone just take a look at, you know, what all you have, whether it's your personal life, your personal home, your personal auto, whether or not it's your business, right? Whether it's not, you know, you have a warehouse, or you're doing your business online, and you have a lot of inventory in your home, and something happens. A water pipe burst. Something happens to all of your inventory. What are you going to do? You spent all this money on inventory, right? So even you guys that work from home, I think it would be a great opportunity to get in touch with him, so he can at least look over what you have. And then you can see, hey, you know what, I need to up this, I can lower that. You know, I was paying too much with the carrier I was with, or not enough. Adrian, how can people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me several ways. My phone number is 972-252-7467. I'm going to repeat that, 972-252-7467. They can reach me at adrianhowardagent.com. Again, that's adrianhowardagent.com. So you can go online and look me up. But those are the places where you can contact me. I'm on Facebook as well. If you want to make me a friend, I'd love to be your friend. You can kind of see some of the things that we got going on. We've been in business for 20 years. I started in operations before I became an agent. So I've been in the insurance business for 30 years straight, same company. So I've been in sales but one of the things I want to say before we close is this. You know, I really am all about the service aspect of the business. You know, I like to network, I like to meet new people, but I really like to protect the assets of people. That's the reason that I got into the business. I could have very well easily stayed in the company and worked, but I like the fact that I'm able to go out and help people protect their assets and their families.
So Adrian, give the number one more time.
That number is 972-252-7467.
You guys, you know, we're running out of time, but listen, if your insurance agent has not called you to check on you during this pandemic, right? I don't know, you may want to think about changing agencies, because my relationships, you guys know I'm a big proponent on relationships. I believe in the power of relational currency. And if you don't have an agent that you can reach out to and touch, whether you're going through a pandemic or not, you just have a question.
Yeah.
And you don't have an opportunity or an insurance company that you can reach out to and talk to a person, then you may want to think about your life. So Adrian has given his phone number is 972-252-7467. You guys should give him a call. Just talk to him about your insurance policies, you know, your renter's insurance, your auto, hey truckers. At least find out if you have a good rate. You guys pay more money in insurance, especially now, this cargo insurance, everything is being transported. You're trying to get your own authority. You can't get your own authority without having insurance.
Yes, right.
At least call him and get a quote, right? So you can get your own authority. You guys know I have access to contracts. I have clients that have some major contracts with some major freight companies that are just moving. They have lanes. And guess what? You can't get access to it because you don't have the right insurance. And as you guys know, my truckers, the minimum per the state is $750,000 in liability. And you got to have cargo if you're moving cargo. And I know Amazon wants at least $1 million or $2 million in combined single limits. So listen, we have run out of time, Adrian.
Yeah.
Man, y'all know I love talking about insurance and insuring those things that are important. So if you guys want to get in touch with Adrian, call 972-252-7467. And Adrian, thank you so much for being on my show. And listen, there will be a replay. You guys can catch this show on my YouTube channel. Just search Cassandra Bradford, look for Adrian's handsome face. And you guys can get to watch this repeat again. Thank you so much, Adrian. And I'll see you guys at the top. Goodbye for now.
Thank you. Yep.
All right.